Hello everyone and Happy New Year's. Welcome to Fairy Oasis. I know it's been a while. I hope you're all doing well. I've been taking some time with my projects and with myself to kind of get things organized in my brain. But I thought it might be useful if I just took some time to sit here. First of all, again, wish you Happy New Year. And take some time to talk to you about what I've been up to, what I'm hoping to get up to, and all of the fun. So, yeah. There is not a script or an exact plan. This is just a little bit of a ramble at the end/beginning of the year. I do need to use a less squeaky chair. One moment, please. Much better. All right, let's go. So, first of all, I've been doing a lot of work. One of the things I've been working on and off, has been the freestyle bedroom, which very quickly turned into a gothic bedroom, starting with the fact that I did not have enough white gesso to put the base coat on the room box. So I ended up using black. And when I used the black, it was very easy to start using darker colors. And so it just very quickly became a black and purple and gold project, and that's been quite a bit of fun. I don't know how much of the dressers I shared. I need to work on a video for the dressers because I did find some really good techniques to make dressers, like opening drawers, not dressers, drawers, little nightstands with drawers in them. And they open and close, and it's the cutest thing. And I have some ideas about how to do it better, but that's what happens. You do a project, and you have a lot of little mistakes, and from those mistakes you're like, I should try this next time, and this step was not necessary. Learning is so much fun. I love learning. Never, ever be afraid to fail for the sake of trying something new. It's too much fun to try things that are new. But I've been doing a lot of little bits and pieces for that room box. I have decided that it is the bedroom of a Gothic artist who is also probably a plant parent of some kind. I'm thinking a plant mom. I don't know what gender they are. Haven't really decided that, but I've figured out little bits and pieces. I still want to work on a cat figurine for the room because I think that would be darling. But yeah, I have got a good bit of the bed finished, and I'm almost done making a paint easel, and that'll allow me to make a little corner. I'm going to put some wax paper as a drop cloth that you might use because it's got that super awesome velvet carpet. You would not want to get paint all over that carpet. But I want to do one corner with the easel on the drop cloth, and like all of these paint supplies, I want to make a painter's palette. Those little, you put your paint on there and mix it. I have some ideas to do a wood gray, which is something you can do with polymer clay. You can make some wood grain patterns and then put the little divots in, and then once it's cured, actually put real paint in there and like mix it and whatnot so that it dries. I may need to put some kind of glaze on top of it. That way the paint always looks wet, but that will be the step to figure out after I see how the paint looks when it's dry. But that has been a very fun project. I learned something new, or rather, less I learned something and more I tried out a new skill. I knew that image transfer was possible with polymer clay. However, I'd never really tried it. It wasn't something I was particularly interested in, mostly because when I first got into polymer clay, I got into sculpting and color blending and marbling. And those three skills just sort of were what I focused on for a very long time. I had a thought not too long ago about a little personal project, something I wanted to try out and see if it would work. And if I could get image transfer to work, it would be so much easier, especially since I have been practicing this year with vector art, which I do not know if I have shared images of the Monstera plant. I made a Monstera plant out of polymer clay, floral wire, floral tape, Mod Podge, paper. It was so much fun, and I learned so much. Much like some of the other projects. It's not perfect. It does not look perfect, and that's absolutely fine because I learned which steps weren't necessary that I'm just going to skip next time, which steps I really liked how they worked. And so I probably need to try that with some smaller plants, but I'm so off topic, rambling. I forgot exactly where I was, but yeah, I need to try making some smaller plants since this is going to be a plant parent. It'll be the perfect project to just experiment with some different plants and see what I can do and just fill the room with plants. I know it already has a succulent that I put with the nightstand, and we'll just have to see where that goes. But my vector skills came in handy for making the leaves. I designed the leaves in Inkscape and then printed them out and cut them out and did some tea staining with green water instead of tea, and that worked pretty well. But that same skill, the vector art, is something that I could use with image transferring. I could use it for a lot of things, and so I tried a couple of experiments, including when you use a vector program, or really any program where you can flip stuff, like a Photoshop or anything like that. I put the words "Home Sweet Home" in this most beautiful font that I found, but and then flipped it over, printed it out, and transferred it to some clay to see how it would work, and it worked so well. I actually did a lot of other experiments. I did a bunch of them. I have all these little pieces of clay with images on them. Some of them are like awful and did not work. I tried doing images on white and light colors and translucent clay and darker colors and black even. Black did not work well. Like, I think it would work well if printers printed out white ink, but they don't. Whenever there's white in an image, that area is just negative space because the paper underneath is white. So that would be a place where I would have to use paint, or find out if there's a printer that actually prints white, because that might be cool. It worked really well. It did not work well on darker colors, though. With some of the brown colors, lighter brown colors, if I had a dark enough image with enough contrasting colors, it came out pretty cool. Almost a sepia? I do not know how to say that word. Sepia tone images. Like, it kind of came out a little bit like that, but not quite. Kind of an artistic take on it. However, the translucent clay, mwah, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful images and a little bit of transparency to the clay. So if you had a backlight on that, it would look absolutely splendid. Absolutely fabulous. So image transfer is a thing that I want to play with more, but I've got to figure out exactly what I want to do with it. One thing that I'm really excited about is this will give me an opportunity to really up my game on my mugs. If you've ever seen my work at any of my shows, you'll see that I do these little cute mugs that I fill with hot cocoa or apple cider or something like that, or coffee. And I've done with like delicate clay work, like adding on the little pieces or working them in little picture designs, which is a lot of fun. But if I could create a design or use some of the free to use images that are on the internet, I could do some really cool mugs, and I think that'd be amazing. There will be a little experimenting. I think what I'd have to do is make the mug and then press the image on, because there would be so much of a risk if I lay the clay flat, put the image on, and then have to roll the clay around to make the mug. I feel like that would just ruin the image, but that is an experiment that is on my to-do list, and I've just got to find the time and the space to work on that. But yeah, that is what I've been up to and some of what I want to try with that. I also want to see how quickly I can kind of finish up the Gothic bedroom, just so that I can finish the project. Though I feel like it'll continue to get pieces over time. I want to get it to a point where it's like, yes, this is a presentable bedroom. And it's kind of been like I'll work on it really well for a while, like a whole bunch of stuff, and then it'll just kind of stay in the corner for a while, and then I'll work on it a whole bunch, and then it'll stay in the corner. Kind of bad like that with projects. I've also got this idea for image transferring that I might be able to do tiles. I'd never wanted to do clay tiles before, but I think I can do some really cool, like, detailed tiles, especially with my vector art skills. I'm really happy with those. Like, I don't think they're amazing, but I feel like I've made a lot of progress, and this is just, as that weird kid who is like, why can't I do math and art? Like, I should be able to do both. They obviously work together. Vector art is just, mwah, like, those two married together. It's just, I wish someone had told me that this existed and that this is how this worked. Like, I didn't even know that with the programs you used, where you use the, like, tablet and the pen, that you could use a smoothing feature on the thing. Like, I twitch. I injured both of my wrists, like, a long time ago, and lost a lot of mobility. Working with clay has actually helped that. I should probably talk about that sometime. But, like, when you have those kind of problems, being able to have something that, like, smooths it out a little bit so that you can still do work when you've got, like, just slight tremoring in your hands is amazing. Oh. But yeah, I'm very excited about all the new things I can try. I am also planning to learn some new skills and focus on building some skills I already have in 2022. I'm planning on focusing a whole lot during January on woodworking. I have access to tools. They're like a housemate's tools, but I have access to them. And I've been really wanting to learn how to do woodworking because then I could do wood room boxes. And we actually have a jigsaw. Like, I did not know that there was a jigsaw in this household. There are so many things that I have not learned to do because it was like, well, I need this kind of expensive tool to do them. But we have one, so I just need to learn how to safely use it and how to use it. And I should be able to make, like, that is what you need to make windows and doors without, like I know there are ways to do it, but it is not particularly easy. And I don't have any woodworking skills, mostly. I know how to do ingenuity, so I've been able to do some stuff with wood through ingenuity. Ingenuity will only get you so far. Actually knowing the skill will get you much farther, especially if you pair knowing a skill with ingenuity. Ooh, you can do so much and you can learn so quickly. But yes, in January, I want to focus on learning woodworking. So I've already got some books from the library and I need to learn what tools are. And that should be fun, and that should definitely be applicable to my work here with miniatures and sculpting. And it'll really get me creating. I think that'll be fun. The other thing that I want to study, which I'm going to hold off so that I can focus almost exclusively on wood throughout January. In February, I want to study more watercolor. It's not a new skill for me. I mean, it's sort of new. It's something I have been learning. But as much time as I'm going to dedicate to woodworking in January is what I'm hoping to do for watercolor in February, which actually is a good month for that because if you're not familiar, February is the month of letters. Go look it up. It's a lot of fun. So I could actually use watercolor techniques in learning that for letters to send to friends. I have not decided what skills I'm going to study after February. I feel like deciding now what I want to study in March and April and May is just setting myself up to get to that month and be really excited about something else, but then be like, no, I set this time aside for this. And I'd be like, no, just leave it open. I'm going to intend on studying one thing a month, each month, and like focus as much as I can on it. But as I said, I only know January and February. We'll have to see when March gets closer, whatever I'm excited about. I'm also not opposed to like studying like the basics of something one month and then a couple months later being like, okay, like I really loved this, but I really want to dive into this smaller topic within it and just focus in real hard. But yeah, let's see. Is there streaming? I have attempted to stream once or twice, and I have found that if I use this wonderful tool I found in 2021, this year. Right now, it's 2021 now. This probably won't be out until 2022 because it is literally New Year's Eve right now at some obscene hour of the morning because I'm nocturnal and I'm weird like that. But it's a great time to film. Much quieter. But I have streamed. I found this tool in this year, 2021, that is the tool I have been looking for, and I will have to talk about this somewhere else. It's not really a topic for here, but I am print disabled. I have dyslexia. Reading standard print is very difficult for me. Like on some days it's fine, on other days you could show me a stop sign that says cats and I would not know that it says anything other than stop because my brain is not recognizing English at all or any language. It's just like, what is language? Those are really frustrating as a person who likes learning and reading. Just, when your brain is like, no, language is off. So, NVDA, I'll usually pronounce it NVIDIA, but it's non-visual desktop access. It is a screen reader. This is the tool I have been needing. With a screen reader, I can read books. I can read the news. I can actually run the screen reader while I'm streaming. Leave the mouse hovering over the little thing that has like comments and whatnot in it. And it will read the comments to me so that I know what people are saying. And that is amazing. I have not figured out how to do that if I ever feel like streaming while I'm gaming, because gaming is fun. And on like my personal channel, I've done some gaming on my personal channel, I have done some gaming to learn how to use OBS. I played Minecraft for a little bit with some mods. I tried talking to the microphone while I was doing stuff. I'm not very good at talking to the microphone while I'm doing stuff. I get very distracted and very focused in on what I'm doing, especially when like a zombie is trying to kill you in the game or creeper blows up. But that has been one thing that I've dabbled in. I don't know how to get the screen reader to read to me, but not get picked up on the same audio that OBS is running for the game. Like it picks all of that up, and so I have to either figure out how to separate those, or it's just not a thing I'll be able to do, and I'll just be like, better hope I can read that day. But I also want to try streaming more creative time. I still gotta figure out how to film that with what I have. I've tried a couple different things and it has worked to varying degrees. If you are working on a surface, you really can't have your camera attached to that surface, so I found some workarounds, but it's been interesting. So I may try streaming more this year just to kind of test run some of that stuff and to maybe get better at talking to the camera and the mic, and just we'll see how that goes. Let me check my notes. Yeah. That is everything I wanted to just chat about real quick. I hope that, really 2020 and 21 have been They have not been great years. They have been interesting, to try and put it nicely. I hope that they have been somewhat kind to you, and I hope that 2022 offers us some bright new hope and opportunities. Happy New Year, and have fun. Try something new. Create.